Alright, welcome to Quickfinity's first actual battle report. Now, I've done some quick content, but I'm going to start doing a little bit of actual YouTube videos, not just the quicks, or the shorts, actually, they're called. I'm old, I don't know what these things are called. So this is my first attempt building a Shas list to really counter flyers. This is me playing my Shasvastii against my buddy's Next Wave. My buddy's a very good Infinity player. He's just starting Next Wave, but he's played Vanilla Combined for a while. He played Onyx. So this is going to be a great test of the Shasvastii to see if they can hang with the flyer meta of Next Wave and the new flyers for Aleph coming out and the flyers that are already in some of the other factions. Shasvastii's in a tough place right now. I was trying to make him work for a while now that I'm playing more and more Infinity, but they still are having a really tough time. But you can check out my list here. Let's get it up on the screen. And you can see that I really teched into fighting the flyers with some network projection with the Shrouded Hacker and a Malignos Hacker. That'll be hidden deploy. Both out in the middle of the table. Both pretty safe and hidden until they really need to hack something. Definitely don't make the mistake that I've made in the past and use that Shrouded Hacker to come out and hack something casually. Really think about why you're revealing him, and it's probably going to be he's revealed once and then dies. He has BTS 0, so if there's any counter hacking, anything like that you're getting into, I wouldn't do it. Make sure it's a juicy target. I have the Speculo Killer Mine Layer. This mine really is just a slowdown. Not the flyer, just kind of make it think twice. It's just a shock mine, and you can put the mine in super annoying places, and this is just a piece that if your opponent with a flyer wants to go dig her out, put her somewhere that's super annoying to get to, and they might spend a bunch of orders doing it. And if they kill her after spending all their orders on that flyer in turn one, that's a win. 2 Ardrones, they kind of are your network projection along with 2 Icodrons that you're going to put in your deployment zone to make sure there's no space that flyer can just come fly in your deployment zone. Unhacked, I guess I'll put it, unassaulted. One will probably be on a stand-up air row, and one, as you'll see in this battle report, kind of gets down on top of a building, so it can't be seen, so it's not as easy to kill. The 2 Icodrons, same, they're hiding, maybe little corner guards. Seed Soldier Paramedic, because the first game I played with this list, I realized I didn't have any Force Reconstitution. It really messed me up when my Guilo died, so I took out something and threw in a Paramedic. He just hides and gets ready to paramedic people. Mentor Lieutenant, obviously. And this is a fun piece I like, and I know a lot of Shas players like currently in the Noctifer Spitfire. Just the hidden deployment is so cool. He's only 29 points. Shas gunfighters outside of Sheskin and the Guilo to a lesser extent, they're so fragile, and he's no exception. But that Mim 6, and he can just kind of pop up and run down a flank with his Spitfire, has been really effective for me. The Guilo Jaeth duo is a classic. A lot of people are down on the Guilo. I really like him. He's BTS 9. It's very hard to hack. You can even put like Victor Messer in there with him if you want, with the Jaeth, with the disco balls. And he's just such a good gunfighter in Shas, I'll say. Not maybe in other factions compared to other factions. Even with that EM Carbine +1 burst, I love him. And with the Jaeth in there, you can toss the disco baller, and then if the Guilo goes down, pick him back up with a speedball or run off even on his own and be a little melee monster with the Jaeth. My group 2 starts with an M drone with attack aware. The M drone just moves so fast with the 6-4, and we're playing, I forgot to mention, provisioning. So any missions like that where you have to go out to the middle of the table, that quick movement where Shasvastii can't really pump their list full of orders like some people can, like Steel Phalanx or Aleph or things like that. The M drone's extra attack aware is a huge deal. And it's the sensor is super valuable right now with Next Wave out there with the puzzlers. Malignos already talked about. The Ecodron, same thing. Little Q drone, TR bot, and a Sacha for the 6 points because Taigas are terrible right now. So that's not the right slide. Let's go back. You're seeing, okay, there's the table that we played on. My buddy built it. It looks really cool with all the gantries and everything. And you can see the black little boxes in the middle of the table are the provisioning. I'm deploying in the bottom left of your screen, and he's deploying in the top right of your screen. And here's the next wave's player's deployment. I'll put his list down in the comments of this video. But he has a couple puzzlers I know. He has the new Flyer, the Skyhound, he has Tooser, and that other gunfighter in Pandora in a fire team in the center there, and he has an M drone down at the bottom here. And this is a snapshot of the Shas deployment. We got the Guaylo, everybody's prone. Next wave is going first. So he debated on it for a while when he won the lieutenant role. He's like, oh, I might let you go first. Going second's good in the mission. I was like, dude, come on. You know you're going first with this Skyhound. Don't play. And he did ultimately go first. So my mentor is down there with his decoy. You can see as well Nicodron up there providing a little repeater support. That is an R drone over there on the left top of the building with the seat soldier paramedic down below him. You can barely see up there. And the R drone is prone, laying down on the ground. And this is the other part of my deployment zone. Up top, that's another R drone standing. Down on the bottom left is a Q drone. And on the right there is the M drone and the Icodron prone. So you can see, and the Sacha is in the center there. And actually above the Sacha, I don't know if you can barely see it. You can probably see the token better, is the marker that represents the shrouded hacker. So I actually was told during this game, I never even knew this. I got this army from somewhere else, painted by somebody else that's very talented at painting. I'm not so much. That these drones are not built correctly, and I've been using them as the wrong things. But it's Affinity, so it's all good. The base sizes are right. There's a good pick of the Sacha and the Shrouded Hacker up there. So you can see the Shrouded and all the repeaters are definitely making it hard for the Skyhound to dive right in. And an overall shot of the battlefield. And my opponent immediately recognizes, like, okay, he's got network projection. I don't see any hackers, but obviously there's hackers here. He knows I have hidden deployment hackers. He knows that one of these camo markers is a hacker. And there's my beautiful impersonation marker, thanks to Warsenal and it is a specular killer with a mine. The mine is at the bottom of the building on the opposite side because that fire team you saw earlier is going to run down there past that car. So I just wanted her as stupidest place as possible for the Skyhound to get to, and the mine just to be annoying, basically. Oh, a mine. What could that MIM 3 camo marker be? Oh, and here's a good pick of the mine. Something that came up throughout this entire game was the plus to discovers that Next Wave has. I guess I just never thought about it before. I felt like everything you used was like, that's +6 to discover, that's +3 to discover. And that felt terrible as a Shasvastii player, and I felt targeted. Okay, we're back to the first slide. And then here we go. With Bat Rep 2. That was my beautiful picture. So after the first turn, I move up my M drone. He gets in there, and obviously a puzzler gets revealed. I kind of knew where the puzzler was. I was trying to suss it out, and I probably should have used the Sacha for this, but he goes first, and actually doesn't do a ton up top with his Tooser. He comes out, doesn't really do anything. He then moves up his M drone to get rid of that Speculo. It takes a ton of orders from his pool. He moves the Skyhound not at all because he realizes that the Skyhound going after the Speculo is going to be too many orders, and then the Skyhound coming across and just getting hacked somewhere. He was really, really hesitant to do that, but he had a good first turn getting rid of that Speculo. So I move up with my M drone, find the puzzler. And then once that happens, I'm like, hey, there's a fire team sitting over there all the way downtown by that red box. This is where my Noctifer kind of deployed at the edge of that building, and he moved forward and revealed himself. And I was like, he's going to go and just start blasting people. Down the flanks, there was really good fire lanes if you got across that gantry. And the M drone was prone. Everybody's prone over there. Oh, I'll leave it here. Except for, I don't know if I got a good picture of it, his little dinosaur guy, and I'm sorry, I forget the name, in the fire team was at the edge of that box, and I spitfired him, and he said, okay, I'm going to shoot a viral mine at your feet. Didn't even kill him. The viral mine landed, and now I have a standing Noctifer staring at a viral mine and staring at another model, which felt terrible. So I spent my whole rest of my first turn running an Icodron up there to blast the mines, and I didn't take into account that that model could still see the Icodron, so it shot more mines. It was a huge mistake. But it's something I love about this game, Infinity, where there's so many different ways to solve a problem, and I just picked the wrong one. So really think about, and I need to think about in the future, hey, if I do this thing with this Icodron, obviously I couldn't just move the Noctifer, because he'll die to a mine. He's got Fizz 10. He's not dodging that shit. And yeah, maybe I could trade him for the little dino guy, but the dino guy is not worth a Noctifer in my mind. So I spent 3 orders running the Icodron up, and all that really what it accomplished was more mines went down, and he wasted his mines, but he has baggage right next to that guy back there. So then the next thing I did was move the Guilo up with my last few orders onto here, and he can see the Skyhound, and I figure why not? It's not a terrible shot with his MSV. I'll take a couple shots at the Skyhound. Fortunately, just nothing. We bounced off each other, so the Guilo ends prone up there. And this is the pick of, they're all prone up on the building. The Stinger, I believe it's called, and Tusser, and that's the puzzler that was revealed. And Pandora, that is what the juicy targets, Pandora and the puzzler, and eventually stuff behind that the Noctifer thought it could easily get to, and it just didn't work out. So my opponent goes, and he, on his second turn, he really pushed the scenario advantage. That fire team with Pandora, now that I don't have a lot of standing arrows, he took out my Q drone, he took out the R drone that was standing. The Noctifer actually ended up surprisingly living, but then went prone. It just managed to crit a dodge or something like that, and win the face-to-face, and he's alive laying down. But with that gantry, how tall it was, he was able to get a Stinger over there and look at him, or Tusser over there, I'm sorry, with the MSV2, and look down into him and kill him. And that, use the movement from that fire team to move in the middle and get the 2 boxes with this M drone and with Pandora out of the center. And you can see the M drone went all the way back to the corner, and Pandora dropped both box in his zone. He kills the M drone as he's doing this. That's just chilling in the middle of the table that was isolated and immobilized. And there's that stupid little dinosaur with its mines. And he just consolidates his position, really gets up in scenario, and kind of just knows that I don't have a ton of orders to do what I need to do for my next turn. There he is, the hero who shot a Spitfire a few times and then hid and then died. So the last turn of this game is kind of, I didn't really include any pictures of it, because once he consolidated those objectives in the center, and I didn't really have even that many orders left, my last turn I kind of spent trying to figure out what I could do with the Guilo. The Guilo tried to take a trade into the Stinger. I think I was on 3 dice on 12s or 13s, and he was on 2 dice on 10s, and it was 2 ineffectual firefights. Nobody got hurt. So then I said, okay, let me go fight the little dino guy. The dino guy was poking out. It has a Panzerfaust. I think he crit his Panzerfaust on the Guilo. Guilo dies. I was like, this is terrible. That was kind of my last ditch effort of a gunfighter that can move up the table and fight that fire team that, they were centrally located. They weren't super protected. I just didn't have the orders, and once the Guilo died, it was kind of over from there. And then he rammed his Skyhound. Once my defenses fell apart, then the Skyhound did sprint across the table and just start murdering things. The best thing that happened with the Skyhound was after it killed a couple models, my Sachas threw an EM grenade at it, critted it, and shut it down. So that felt pretty good. At the end of the day, I think the Shas list, does an okay job of shutting down the flyers. It just is tough when that's the majority of what you're scoping your list out to do. And it might not be worth it in the end. Like you're already going to have hackers. Maybe Victor Messer would have been better than this hacking with the Malignos and the Shrouded. Actually, by the time I even got around to revealing the Malignos, I didn't have enough orders to make him effective. That was a misplay on my part. I should have revealed him earlier. But I was just so intent on keeping him there. He's actually behind that tall building on the left of your screen there, right in the center of the table. So I was waiting for something to come around to one of the two objectives, and it never worked out. It was a super fun game with my opponent. It kind of taught me a lot about Shasvastii. Hopefully you guys learned something for it. And if you like this kind of quick and dirty rundown of a Infinity game through the slideshow, definitely let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel so you can get more. We're definitely going to start doing more of these. My next battle report, I'll probably do a live video type just so we can contrast and compare, see what people like better, see what I like better. Since I'm a new content creator, I'm just learning through this thing. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it.